One moment, Melissa Casias was running errands for her daughter. The next, she was spotted walking alone, miles from home, before vanishing completely. Her phone was turned off. No texts, no calls. The digital trail that was once so easily traceable had disappeared into thin air. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next chilling tales. This case explores the bizarre timeline of her last known hours, the strange theories surrounding her disappearance, and the chilling mystery of a woman who seemingly erased her own digital footprint. What happened to Melissa Casias? Melissa Casias was like any other mother. At 36 years old, she lived in the quiet suburban town of Westfall, California. Her life revolved around her 10-year-old daughter, Lily, and her modest job at the local grocery store. But it wasn't just any ordinary day that would set the stage for the most baffling case in Westfall's history. It was a typical Wednesday morning when Melissa left the house. Her daughter had handed her a small shopping list, a couple of cans of soup, some milk, and snacks for the upcoming weekend. Nothing unusual, nothing to suggest that Melissa would not return. But she didn't come home. She didn't even make it back to the car. Melissa was last seen leaving the grocery store around 2 p.m., her arms full of bags. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary at the time. She waved goodbye to a few familiar faces as she crossed the parking lot. Yet that was the last time anyone would see her. The following day, Lily woke up to find her mother still not home. At first, she thought nothing of it, assuming Melissa had stayed late with a friend or was caught up in something trivial. But when it got late into the evening, she called her mom's phone. It rang once and then went silent. Melissa's voicemail greeted her instead. The local authorities were notified, and a search began, but the trail was cold. The store's security footage showed Melissa walking towards her car, but she never made it. She disappeared without a trace, leaving only the lingering question: what happened between the parking lot and her car? 2 days after Melissa's disappearance, something odd happened. A strange phone call came in to the Casias family home. It wasn't from the police, nor was it from any of Melissa's friends. The voice on the other end was distorted, but the message was clear. She's gone. You won't find her. She doesn't want to be found. The call lasted less than a minute. There was no trace of where it came from, and no indication of who the caller was. The authorities couldn't even identify the phone number. The unsettling tone of the voice sent chills down the spine of anyone who heard it. Who would make such a call? And why? The case only deepened in mystery as more clues surfaced, yet none offered any concrete answers. Surveillance cameras in the area around Westfall were checked. A footage technician noticed something strange. Just after leaving the grocery store, Melissa had been captured on a different camera, crossing the street, not heading home, but going towards a remote stretch of road that led to an abandoned property on the outskirts of town. This was no random decision. The next twist was even more bewildering. A witness came forward. He claimed to have seen a woman who looked like Melissa walking along the side of the road at dusk, her movements erratic, as if she was disoriented. When he stopped to offer help, the woman simply stared at him and kept walking. He had followed her for several blocks, but when he tried to approach, she had vanished. There were no signs of her after that. What could possibly cause a person to walk away from their life in such a manner? And why would Melissa, a loving mother, be heading toward a forgotten road in the first place? The most perplexing part of the case came when authorities began to look into Melissa's digital footprint. Her phone, which had always been connected, went completely silent the moment she vanished. Her social media accounts, once active, were completely wiped. She had not left a single clue behind in her messages or calls. There were no online activities, no recent searches, nothing. It was as though she had vanished from the digital world, not just the physical one. Some speculated that Melissa had staged her disappearance, leaving behind a clean slate so that no one could track her. But why? What could have driven a woman, who had everything to live for, to disappear without any explanation or even a goodbye to her daughter? As the search for Melissa continued, so did the theories. Some locals believed she had run away, perhaps overwhelmed by her responsibilities as a mother and her job. But that explanation seemed too simple for a woman who had always been devoted to her daughter. Others suggested foul play. Could someone have taken Melissa against her will? The local police dug into her past, but no one close to her had any indication that she had been involved in any dangerous activities. Her relationships were normal, and she had no known enemies. There were darker, more bizarre theories, though. Some believed Melissa might have been involved in something secretive, something that caused her to disappear. A few whispered about a mysterious online group Melissa had reportedly been interacting with before her disappearance. Was she involved in something sinister that no one knew about? But the most chilling theory of all, some believed Melissa had erased herself from existence, deliberately cutting all ties to her past life in a final attempt to escape something or someone. Despite the best efforts of law enforcement, the case went cold. Hundreds of volunteers scoured the area, following every lead. A few months later, the local police had no new information to offer. Theories abounded, but none held any weight. Then, just when it seemed like the case had come to a standstill, a break appeared, but not in the way anyone had hoped. A hiker, trekking through a remote trail, discovered a set of items scattered on the ground. A pair of worn-out shoes, a scarf that resembled one Melissa had worn, and a weathered notebook. The pages of the notebook were filled with cryptic writing, some in English, some in what appeared to be another language altogether. There were symbols, phrases, and strange sketches. The last entry simply read, "The truth is in the silence. Find me where the road ends." The items were sent for forensic analysis, and the road mentioned in the notebook was traced to a secluded area just outside of Westfall. Local police couldn't find anything conclusive, but the discovery opened new questions. Had Melissa left these clues for someone to find, or was there something larger at play? The mystery of Melissa's disappearance remains unsolved. To this day, the Casias family continues to wait for answers. Some believe Melissa is still alive, hiding from something or someone. Others think she may have met a tragic end on that lonely road. No one knows for sure. As of now, the case remains one of the most puzzling and haunting disappearances in Westfall's history. Melissa Casias may have vanished without a trace, but her story is far from over. With each passing day, the question remains, what really happened to Melissa Casias? The case of Melissa Casias serves as a chilling reminder of how easily someone can vanish without a trace. Despite all the clues, the theories, and the investigations, the truth remains elusive. Was it a planned disappearance, a random act of fate, or something far darker than anyone could have imagined? The answers are still out there, waiting to be discovered. And the clock is ticking. Never forget, it is very important to be aware of our digital footprints, as they can easily be erased, leaving little trace behind. And human behavior is complex and unpredictable. And some mysteries remain unsolved because people's actions are often influenced by factors others may not understand. Please don't forget to like, Comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next chilling tales.